What if I told you that a celestial event unfolding right now in April 2025 is not just a stunning full moon, but a seismic cosmic shift that's already rippling through your life? This isn't a moment to simply gaze at the sky in awe. It's a cosmic emergency demanding your attention. A rare opportunity to transform your emotional world, heal deep wounds, and realign every relationship you hold dear. Can you feel the electric charge in the air? The full moon in Libra is a celestial siren, blaring a wake-up call to your soul. Balance must be restored, or chaos will reign. You might already be feeling its effects. Have you noticed a strange restlessness lately? A sudden heaviness in your chest? Or an unexplainable tension in your interactions? Perhaps your sleep has been disrupted, or you felt an overwhelming urge to confront unresolved issues. These aren't coincidences. They're cosmic signals that the universe is urging you to act now. This full moon in Libra isn't just about beauty. It's a cosmic reckoning, a moment where the universe holds a mirror to your life, exposing every imbalance, every strained connection, and every emotional burden you've been carrying. It's a chance to hit the reset button on your relationships, your inner peace, and your entire existence. But here's the catch. This energy peaks for only a fleeting 48 hours. Miss it, and you'll be waiting another year to harness this transformative power. Are you ready to step into a more harmonious version of yourself? Or will you let this moment slip through your fingers? Let me ask you, have you felt off lately? Maybe your relationships feel like they're teetering on the edge, or you're struggling to find peace amidst a storm of emotions. Perhaps you've had vivid dreams, sudden mood swings, or a nagging sense that something big is coming. These are the whispers of the full moon in Libra, and they're growing louder by the hour. This lunar event is a cosmic spotlight, illuminating the areas of your life that are out of alignment, relationships that drain you, emotional baggage that weighs you down, and the inner turmoil that keeps you awake at night. It's asking you a critical question. Are you ready to find balance, or will you let imbalance define your path? I want to hear from you. Have you noticed these strange symptoms in your life recently? Drop a comment below and share what you've been feeling. Are you experiencing tension, fatigue, or a sudden clarity about what's no longer working in your life? Let's connect and explore this cosmic shift together. And if you're ready to dive deeper into these transformative energies, please hit that subscribe button to join our Cosmic Wisdom Naturally community. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers this month, and your support means the world to us. Let's unlock the secrets of this full moon together. Are you in? Let's plunge into the heart of this celestial storm. A full moon in Libra that's not just a lunar phase, but a cosmic ultimatum with the power to reshape your entire existence. Picture this. The sun and moon, locked in a celestial standoff, positioned on opposite sides of the earth, casting a radiant, unyielding spotlight on the moon's surface. This isn't a gentle glow. It's a blazing cosmic signal, a flare in the night sky that demands your attention. A full moon always marks the peak of the lunar cycle, a moment when everything you've been suppressing, every unspoken tension, every unbalanced relationship, every buried emotion, erupts into the light. But this full moon, in the harmonious yet justice-driven sign of Libra, is a game changer. It's not here to comfort you. It's here to challenge you. The universe is screaming, time to wake up, time to act, and you have only 48 hours to harness its energy before it fades for another year. Are you ready to face what's about to be revealed? Or will you let this moment slip away? Libra, ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is the zodiac's diplomat, obsessed with balance, fairness, and harmony. But don't let its gentle reputation fool you. This full moon is a cosmic judge, holding the scales of your life in its hands and weighing every aspect with ruthless precision. It's here to expose where you've been living out of alignment. Have you been giving too much in your relationships, leaving nothing for yourself? Or have you been so focused on your own needs that you've neglected the people who matter most? This lunar event is a mirror, reflecting the truth of your life with stark clarity. You might already be feeling its effects. Perhaps you've noticed a strange restlessness, a tightness in your chest that won't go away, or a sudden urge to confront someone you've been avoiding. Maybe your dreams have been vivid, filled with symbols of scales, mirrors, or broken connections. These aren't random occurrences. They're the full moon in Libra whispering to your subconscious, urging you to pay attention. What do you think these symptoms mean for you? Are they pointing to a specific area of your life that needs healing? Let's explore these symptoms in more depth, because they're not just random. They're cosmic messages, and understanding them can help you navigate this full moon's energy. That tightness in your chest might be a sign of emotional suppression, a signal that you've been holding on to feelings you need to express. Perhaps you've been avoiding a difficult conversation with a friend, and the tension is manifesting physically. Or that restlessness you're feeling, maybe it's a sign that you're out of balance, that you've been giving too much to others and not enough to yourself. Have you been feeling unusually tired, even after a full night's sleep? Or perhaps you've noticed your heart racing at odd moments, a physical echo of the anxiety this full moon is stirring. These symptoms are your body's way of telling you that something needs to change. What physical or emotional signs have you noticed in your own life? How might they be connected to the imbalances this full moon is highlighting? But the stakes get even higher when we consider the cosmic dance at play. This full moon in Libra forms a tense opposition with the sun in Aries, creating a celestial tug-of-war that you're likely feeling deep in your bones. Aries, ruled by Mars, is the warrior of the zodiac, fierce, independent, and unapologetically self-focused. Libra, on the other hand, craves partnership, peace, and compromise. This opposition is a cosmic clash of titans, pulling you between two opposing forces: the need to assert your individuality and the desire to nurture your relationships. You might be experiencing this as an internal battle. Do you stand up for yourself, even if it risks conflict? Or do you keep the peace at the expense of your own needs? This tension could manifest in your daily life in unexpected ways. Perhaps you've had a sudden argument with a loved one, a heated exchange that came out of nowhere, leaving you reeling. Or maybe you've felt an overwhelming need for freedom, a desire to break free from a relationship or situation that feels suffocating. Have you noticed these dynamics playing out in your life recently? What do you think this push-pull is trying to teach you? Let's dive deeper into the astrological dynamics of this opposition, because understanding its nuances can help you navigate its energy more effectively. The Aries-Libra axis is one of the most powerful in astrology, representing the balance between self and other, independence and interdependence. Aries is all about action, courage, and self-assertion. It's the part of you that says, I need to take care of myself, to prioritize my own goals and desires. Libra, on the other hand, is about connection, collaboration, and harmony. It's the part of you that says, I need to nurture my relationships to create peace and understanding with others. Under this full moon, these two energies are in direct conflict, creating a cosmic friction that can feel like an emotional earthquake. You might feel this as a deep inner conflict. Part of you wants to assert your independence, to set boundaries and focus on your own needs, while another part of you wants to keep the peace, to avoid conflict and maintain harmony in your relationships. This tension can be incredibly uncomfortable, but it's also an opportunity for growth. What if this full moon is asking you to find a new way of being? One where you can honor both your individuality and your connections. How might that look in your life? To illustrate this, let's consider a real-life example. Imagine you're a single parent, juggling the demands of raising a child with your own career and personal goals. You've always prided yourself on being there for your child, attending every school event, helping with homework, being the rock they can rely on. But lately, you've been feeling overwhelmed, stretched thin by the constant demands on your time and energy. Under this full moon in Libra, you might feel a surge of Aries energy, a burning need to reclaim your independence, to carve out time for yourself, even if it means saying no to some of your child's requests. But the Libra energy pulls you in the opposite direction, urging you to maintain harmony in your family, to keep being the supportive parent you've always been. This push-pull can lead to intense emotions. Maybe you snap at your child over something small, only to feel a wave of guilt afterward. Or perhaps you decide to take a night off, only to spend the whole evening worrying about whether you're being a good parent. This is the Aries-Libra opposition at work, and it's asking you to find a balance between your own needs and the needs of those you love. Can you think of a situation in your own life where you felt this tension? How did you navigate it? This cosmic tug-of-war isn't just a challenge, it's an opportunity. The full moon in Libra is urging you to step into a new way of being, one where you can assert your needs while still fostering harmony in your connections. But here's where the suspense builds. What if this full moon reveals a truth you're not ready to face? What if it exposes a relationship that's been draining you for years, or a pattern of behavior that's been holding you back? These revelations can be jarring, even painful, but they're also liberating. The universe is giving you a chance to break free from what no longer serves you, to release the old and make space for something better. But you have to act quickly. This energy is fleeting, and if you don't seize it, you might find yourself stuck in the same cycles for months to come. What do you think this full moon might reveal about your life? Are you prepared to face the truth, or will you turn away? Let's explore another layer of this full moon's energy, its connection to beauty and aesthetics. Libra, ruled by Venus, is the sign of art, grace, and elegance, and this full moon is a cosmic invitation to surround yourself with beauty inside and out. This isn't just about superficial appearances, it's about creating environments that nurture your soul. Have you been feeling uninspired lately, surrounded by clutter or chaos? Maybe your home feels more like a battleground than a sanctuary, or your daily routine lacks moments of joy. This full moon is urging you to change that. Spend time in nature, perhaps a walk through a blooming garden in Serenity Valley where the scent of flowers and the sound of birdsong can soothe your spirit. Or create a sacred space in your home, light candles, play soft music, and surround yourself with objects that spark joy. These acts of beauty aren't frivolous, they're essential for your emotional well-being. How can you bring more beauty into your life right now? What small changes could make a big difference? But beauty isn't just about your environment, it's also about how you treat yourself and others. Libra's energy is a reminder to cultivate grace and kindness in your interactions. Have you been harsh with yourself lately, criticizing your every move? Or perhaps you've been short-tempered with others, letting stress get the better of you. This full moon is a call to soften, to treat yourself and those around you with the same compassion you'd offer a dear friend. Imagine this: you've been beating yourself up over a mistake at work, replaying it in your mind over and over. Under this full moon, you might feel a shift, a gentle nudge to forgive yourself, to see the beauty in your imperfections. Or maybe you've been impatient with a loved one, snapping at them over something small. This lunar energy might inspire you to apologize, to approach them with kindness and understanding. How can you bring more grace into your life right now? What acts of kindness can you offer yourself and others? Finally, let's talk about Libra's connection to justice. Libra is the sign of fairness, and this full moon is igniting a fire within you to fight for what's right, both in your personal life and in the world around you. Have you been treated unfairly recently? Perhaps a colleague took credit for your work, leaving you feeling invisible, or a friend has been taking more than they give, leaving you feeling used. This lunar energy is urging you to set things right. It's a call to set boundaries, to speak your truth, and to demand equality. Imagine this: you've been working on a project at work for weeks, pouring your heart into it, only to have a coworker present it as their own. Under this full moon, you might feel a surge of courage, a burning need to speak up and reclaim your voice. Or perhaps you've been in a one-sided friendship, always the one to reach out, to plan, to care. This lunar energy might push you to set a boundary, to say, I need more reciprocity in this relationship. Can you think of a situation in your life where you've been treated unfairly? What would it look like to stand up for yourself? On a larger scale, this full moon might inspire you to advocate for justice in the world around you. Maybe you've been feeling a growing sense of outrage about a social issue, perhaps environmental destruction in Serenity Valley, where a local forest is being threatened by development. This lunar energy is a call to action, urging you to join a cause, to speak out, to make a difference. Imagine joining a local group to protect the natural beauty of Serenity Valley, organizing cleanup events, or advocating for policies that ensure fairness for all. The full moon in Libra is a cosmic courtroom, and you're the judge. What verdict will you deliver? What injustices are you ready to address? Let's connect with you directly. Have you felt the energy of this full moon stirring in your life? Maybe you've noticed physical symptoms, headaches, fatigue, or a racing heart, or emotional ones like sudden irritability or a deep longing for connection. Share your experiences in the comments below. What's been coming up for you as this full moon approaches? Are you feeling the tension between independence and partnership, or the urge to fight for fairness? Let's create a space where we can support each other through this cosmic shift. And if you're finding this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom Naturally. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support can help us get there. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the core themes of this full moon in Libra, themes that will define how you experience this cosmic event and the transformations it brings. These aren't just abstract concepts, they're deeply personal, touching every corner of your life with an urgency that can't be ignored. The universe is holding a mirror to your existence, and it's time to look closely. Are you ready to see what's out of alignment? Let's explore these themes one by one, starting with the most fundamental: balance. Balance, the cosmic mandate. Libra's symbol, the scales, isn't just a pretty image, it's a cosmic mandate, a non-negotiable demand for equilibrium in every aspect of your life. This full moon in Libra is shining a spotlight on where balance is lacking, and it's not pulling any punches. Internally, this means taking a hard look at your emotional state. Are you feeling centered? Or are you drowning in a sea of anxiety, exhaustion, or emotional chaos? Maybe you've been waking up with a racing heart, your mind spinning with worries you can't quite name. Or perhaps you've been feeling a heaviness in your body, a fatigue that no amount of sleep can cure. These are the full moon in Libra's warning signs, signaling that your inner world is out of alignment. Have you noticed these symptoms in your own life? What do you think they're trying to tell you? Let's explore these emotional symptoms in more depth, because they're not just random, they're cosmic messages, and understanding them can help you navigate this full moon's energy. That racing heart might be a sign of suppressed emotions, a signal that you've been holding onto feelings you need to express. Perhaps you've been avoiding a difficult conversation with a loved one and the tension is manifesting physically. Or that heaviness you're feeling, maybe it's a sign that you've been carrying too much emotional baggage, like the weight of a past betrayal that you've never fully processed. Have you been feeling unusually emotional lately, perhaps crying at the smallest things, a sad song, a kind word from a friend? Or maybe you've been feeling a deep sense of unease, a nagging feeling that something in your life is off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. These symptoms are your body's way of telling you that something needs to change. What emotional signs have you noticed in your own life? How might they be connected to the imbalances this full moon is highlighting? Externally, balance refers to your relationships, career, and daily routines. Are you living in harmony with your surroundings? Or are you stretched too thin? Perhaps you've been overworking, staying late at the office night after night, neglecting the people who matter most. Or maybe you've been pouring all your energy into others, always the one to listen, to support, to fix, while ignoring your own needs. The full moon in Libra is a cosmic alarm, blaring. Restore balance now, or the scales will tip into chaos. This isn't a suggestion, it's a demand. If you don't act, the imbalances in your life will grow, leading to burnout, resentment, or even the breakdown of relationships. Imagine this. You've been so focused on your career that you've missed every family dinner for the past month. Under this full moon, you might suddenly feel a pang of guilt, a deep longing to reconnect with your loved ones. Or perhaps you've been overextending yourself in a friendship, always saying yes to their demands, and now you're feeling drained, resentful, and ready to snap. Can you think of an area in your life where you've been giving too much or too little? What would it look like to bring balance back? Let's take this scenario further, because understanding how imbalances play out in real life can help you see where you need to make changes. Imagine you're a teacher, working long hours to support your students, often staying late to grade papers or plan lessons. You love your job, but lately, it's been consuming all your time and energy. You've missed your child's soccer games, canceled plans with friends, and even skipped your weekly yoga class, the one thing that keeps you grounded. Under this full moon in Libra, you might feel a sudden wave of exhaustion, a physical and emotional signal that you're out of balance. Your body might start to rebel, maybe you're getting headaches, or you're so tired that you can barely get out of bed in the morning. Emotionally, you might feel a growing sense of resentment, a feeling that you're giving everything to your job and getting nothing in return. This full moon is urging you to take a step back, to reassess your priorities, and to make space for the things that matter most. What if you took a day off to spend with your family, to reconnect with your child and remind yourself of what truly matters? Or what if you set a boundary at work, deciding to leave on time at least a few days a week so you can reclaim your personal life? How might these changes bring balance back into your life? But achieving balance isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about creating a life that feels sustainable, joyful, and aligned with your true self. This full moon is urging you to take a step back and assess your priorities. Are you spending too much time on work at the expense of your relationships? Or have you been so focused on others that you've neglected your own passions? Let's get practical. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by your career, this is your cosmic permission to carve out time for rest. Maybe that means taking a day off to wander through Serenity Valley, letting the fresh air and quiet reset your nervous system. Or if you've been neglecting your friendships, it's time to reach out. Plan a coffee date, have a heart-to-heart, and nurture those connections with the love they deserve. Balance doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice you make, moment by moment. What small step can you take today to restore equilibrium in your life? Here's where the suspense builds. What if this full moon reveals an imbalance you've been ignoring for years? Maybe you've been pretending everything is fine in your marriage, but deep down, you know there's a disconnect that needs addressing. Perhaps you've been avoiding the fact that you and your partner have grown apart, that you no longer share the same values or dreams. Or maybe you've been overworking for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to truly rest, to spend a day doing nothing but enjoying your own company. The full moon in Libra is a cosmic truth teller, and it's not here to let you hide. These revelations can be uncomfortable, even scary, but they're also a gift. They're an opportunity to realign your life with what truly matters. But you have to act quickly. This energy peaks for only 48 hours, and if you don't seize it, you might find yourself stuck in the same patterns for months to come. What do you think this full moon might uncover about your life? Are you ready to face it, or will you look away? Relationships, a make or break moment. Next, let's talk about relationships, because Libra, ruled by Venus, is the sign of connection, and this full moon is a make or break moment for your partnerships. Whether it's with friends, family, or romantic partners, this lunar energy is shining a spotlight on the state of your relationships, exposing what's working and what's not with brutal clarity. Are your relationships nurturing you, or are they draining your energy? Have you noticed a friend pulling away recently, their texts becoming shorter, their tone colder? Or perhaps your partner has been distant, leaving you feeling unappreciated or unseen. Maybe a colleague has been overstepping boundaries, taking credit for your ideas without a second thought. These aren't just coincidences. They're the full moon in Libra at work, forcing you to confront the dynamics that need healing. Have you noticed these shifts in your relationships lately? What do you think they're trying to tell you? Let's dive deeper into these relational shifts, because they're not just surface level. They're a reflection of deeper patterns that this full moon is bringing to light. Imagine you've been in a romantic relationship for years, and on the surface, everything seems fine. You and your partner get along, you share a home, you have a routine. But lately, you've been feeling a growing sense of disconnection. Maybe they've been working late more often, coming home distracted, barely engaging in conversation. Or perhaps you've been the one pulling away, feeling unfulfilled but not knowing how to address it. Under this full moon in Libra, these feelings might come to a head. You might find yourself sitting across from your partner at dinner, the silence between you heavier than ever, and suddenly you feel a surge of emotion, a need to speak up, to ask the hard questions. Are we still happy? You might say, your voice trembling. Do we still want the same things? This full moon is pushing you to have that conversation, to confront the truth of your relationship, even if it's painful. What if this conversation reveals that you've both been holding onto something that no longer serves you? Or what if it brings you closer, reminding you of the love that's still there? Are you ready to face the truth of your relationship? Or will you keep pretending everything is fine? For some, this full moon might bring a sudden realization that a relationship is toxic. Imagine you've been friends with someone for years, but lately, every interaction leaves you feeling drained. They call you to vent, but never ask how you're doing. They make plans, but always cancel at the last minute, leaving you feeling unimportant. Under this full moon, you might feel a surge of clarity, a deep knowing that this friendship is no longer serving you. You might start to notice physical symptoms, maybe a knot in your stomach every time their name pops up on your phone, or a sense of dread when you know you'll see them. Emotionally, you might feel a growing sense of resentment, a feeling that you're always giving and never receiving. This full moon is urging you to let go, to release this relationship with love and compassion, but also with firmness. What if letting go of this friendship opens the door to new, healthier connections? Are you ready to take that step? Or will you hold on to what's familiar, even if it's hurting you? For others, this lunar energy might highlight the need for deeper, more honest conversations. Perhaps you and your partner have been avoiding a difficult topic. Maybe it's about money or a difference in values, and this full moon is pushing you to finally address it. Imagine this. You've been feeling frustrated because your partner spends money recklessly, while you're trying to save for the future. You've been hinting at your concerns, but they've brushed them off, leaving you feeling unheard. Under this full moon, you might feel a surge of courage, a need to sit down and have a real conversation. We need to talk about our finances. You might say, your heart pounding. I feel like we're not on the same page, and it's starting to affect our relationship. This conversation might be uncomfortable, even heated, but it's also an opportunity for growth. What if this full moon gives you the clarity to see where your relationship needs work? What if it helps you build a stronger, more balanced partnership? Are you ready to have that hard conversation, or will you keep avoiding it? But this full moon isn't just about endings, it's also about new beginnings. Libra's energy is a magnet for connection, and you might find yourself meeting new people who align with your values, who bring balance and harmony into your life. Imagine this, you're at a community event in Serenity Valley and you strike up a conversation with someone who shares your passion for art. There's an instant connection, a sense of ease and understanding that feels like a breath of fresh air. You spend the evening talking, laughing, and sharing ideas, and by the end of the night, you've made a new friend, someone who feels like a kindred spirit. This full moon is opening doors to new relationships, but it's also closing doors to those that no longer serve you. If you've been feeling disconnected or unfulfilled in certain connections, this lunar energy might be the catalyst for change, leading to fresh starts and the release of toxic ties. What new connections are you hoping to manifest? What old ones are you ready to let go of? Justice, the call to right wrongs. Finally, let's explore the theme of justice. Libra is the sign of fairness, and this full moon is igniting a fire within you to right the wrongs in your life. Have you been treated unfairly recently? Maybe a colleague took credit for your work, leaving you feeling invisible, or a friend has been taking more than they give, leaving you feeling used. This lunar energy is urging you to set things right. It's a call to set boundaries, to speak your truth, and to demand equality. Imagine this, you've been working on a project at work for weeks, pouring your heart into it, only to have a coworker present it as their own. You've been stewing in silence, feeling powerless, but under this full moon in Libra, you feel a surge of courage, a burning need to speak up. You schedule a meeting with your boss, your heart pounding as you prepare to say, I need to address something, I put a lot of work into that project, and I feel like my contributions weren't acknowledged. This full moon is giving you the strength to reclaim your voice, to demand the recognition you deserve. What if speaking up changes the way your team sees you? What if it sets a new standard for fairness in your workplace? Are you ready to take that step? Or will you stay silent? Let's take this scenario further, because standing up for justice isn't always easy. It can bring up a mix of emotions, from fear to empowerment. Imagine that after your meeting, your boss listens to your concerns and agrees to give you credit for your work. You feel a wave of relief, a sense of validation that you haven't felt in a long time. But then your coworker confronts you, upset that you threw them under the bus. Suddenly, you're faced with a new challenge. How do you maintain harmony in your relationship with this coworker while still standing up for what's right? This full moon is teaching you that justice isn't just about righting wrongs, it's also about finding a balance between fairness and compassion. You might decide to have an honest conversation with your coworker, saying, I felt hurt when my work wasn't acknowledged, but I value our relationship and want to find a way to move forward together. This approach honors both Libra's call for justice and its desire for harmony. How can you balance fairness and compassion in your own life? What situations are calling for this approach? On a larger scale, this full moon might inspire you to advocate for justice in the world around you. Maybe you've been feeling a growing sense of outrage about a social issue, perhaps environmental destruction in Serenity Valley, where a local forest is being threatened by development. You've seen the news reports, heard the community's concerns, and felt a deep sense of anger that such a beautiful place could be destroyed for profit. Under this full moon in Libra, you might feel a surge of motivation to take action. You join a local group dedicated to protecting Serenity Valley, attending meetings, organizing protests, and speaking at town halls to advocate for preservation. You might even start a petition rallying your community to stand up for what's right. This full moon is a call to action, urging you to use your voice, to fight for fairness, to make a difference. Imagine the impact you could have. Maybe your efforts lead to new protections for the forest, preserving it for future generations. Or perhaps your activism inspires others to get involved, creating a ripple effect of change. What causes are you passionate about? How can you use this full moon's energy to advocate for justice? Let's connect with you directly. Have you felt the energy of this full moon stirring in your relationships or your sense of justice? Maybe you've noticed physical symptoms, tightness in your shoulders, a racing heart, or emotional ones like sudden clarity about what's no longer working in your life. Share your experiences in the comments below. What imbalances are you noticing? What injustices are you ready to confront? Let's create a space where we can support each other through this cosmic shift. And if you're finding this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom Naturally. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support can help us get there. The full moon in Libra isn't just a mental shift, it's an emotional tsunami, a wave of feelings that can feel both exhilarating and overwhelming. As the lunar energy peaks, you might find yourself more sensitive than ever, especially in your relationships. Have you noticed yourself overreacting to small slights lately, maybe snapping at a loved one over something trivial, only to feel a wave of guilt afterward? Or perhaps you're feeling an intense need for closeness one moment, craving deep connection, and then a desperate urge for space the next, wanting to retreat into solitude. This emotional roller coaster isn't random, it's the full moon in Libra at work, amplifying your feelings and forcing you to confront the dynamics of your connections. Let's explore this emotional landscape in depth, because understanding it is key to navigating this cosmic storm. Are you ready to dive into your feelings, or will you let them overwhelm you? This heightened sensitivity comes from the Libra-Aries opposition we discussed earlier. Libra, the sign of partnership, craves harmony and connection, while Aries, the sign of individuality, demands freedom and self-assertion. This push-pull dynamic is playing out in your emotional world, creating a cosmic tightrope that you're walking with every interaction. You might feel torn between the desire for intimacy and the need for independence, a tension that can manifest in unexpected ways. For example, imagine you're in a romantic relationship where you've been feeling unappreciated. Under this full moon, you might suddenly crave closeness, wanting to reconnect with your partner through a deep, meaningful conversation. But as soon as you start talking, you feel a surge of Aries energy, a need to assert your own needs, to speak up about what's been bothering you. This can lead to a heated exchange, a moment of raw honesty that either brings you closer or pushes you further apart. Have you felt this tension in your relationships recently? What do you think it's trying to teach you? Let's take this scenario further, because understanding how this tension plays out can help you navigate it more effectively. Imagine that during your conversation with your partner, you share your feelings of being unappreciated, saying, "I feel like I'm always the one making an effort and I need more from you." Your partner listens, but then responds defensively, saying, "I've been so busy with work, I didn't realize you felt this way." Suddenly, the conversation escalates and you're both raising your voices, old resentments bubbling to the surface. You might feel a mix of emotions, anger, sadness, fear that this argument could damage your relationship. But this full moon is giving you an opportunity to work through these feelings, to find a balance between asserting your needs and maintaining harmony. What if you took a step back, took a deep breath, and said, "I don't want to fight, I just want us to understand each other better"? This approach could lead to a deeper conversation, one where you both share your feelings and find a way to move forward together. Or it might reveal that you've grown apart, that your needs are no longer aligned. Either way, this full moon is pushing you to face the truth. What if this conversation changes everything? Are you ready to find out, or will you keep avoiding the hard questions? This emotional tug-of-war can feel overwhelming, even exhausting. You might notice physical symptoms, perhaps a tightness in your chest, a racing pulse, or a heaviness in your limbs that makes it hard to get out of bed. Or maybe you're experiencing emotional symptoms, sudden mood swings, a deep sense of longing, or an unexplainable sadness that seems to come out of nowhere. These are the full moon in Libra's calling cards, signaling that your emotional world is out of balance. If you don't address these feelings, you risk emotional burnout or fractured relationships. Imagine this. You've been feeling increasingly disconnected from a close friend, but you've been avoiding the issue, hoping it will resolve itself. Under this full moon, your emotions might boil over, leading to a tearful confrontation that leaves you both raw but also opens the door to healing. You might sit down with your friend, tears streaming down your face, and say, "I feel like we've been drifting apart and I miss you, I don't want to lose our friendship." This vulnerability could lead to a breakthrough, a moment of reconnection that strengthens your bond. Or it might reveal that your friendship has run its course, that you've both changed too much to stay close. What if this full moon forces you to face an emotional truth you've been avoiding? Are you ready to feel it fully, or will you push it down? Let's explore these emotional symptoms in more depth, because they're not just random, they're cosmic messages, and understanding them can help you navigate this full moon's energy. That tightness in your chest might be a sign of suppressed emotions, a signal that you've been holding on to feelings you need to express. Perhaps you've been bottling up your frustration with a family member and the tension is manifesting physically. Or that unexplainable sadness you're feeling, maybe it's a sign that you've been neglecting your own needs, that you've been so focused on others that you've lost touch with your own emotions. Have you been feeling unusually emotional lately, perhaps crying at the smallest things, a sad movie, a kind gesture from a stranger? Or maybe you've been feeling a deep sense of loneliness, a longing for connection that you can't quite shake. These symptoms are your body's way of telling you that something needs to change. What emotional signs have you noticed in your own life? How might they be connected to the imbalances this full moon is highlighting? But this full moon isn't just about emotional chaos, it's also about the deep desire for peace. Libra, ruled by Venus, thrives on harmony, and during this lunar phase, you might feel an overwhelming urge to restore calm in your life. If your world has felt chaotic lately, maybe you're juggling too many responsibilities or conflict has been brewing with a loved one, this full moon is begging you to find emotional equilibrium. But how do you achieve peace when your emotions are in overdrive? Let's get practical. First, avoid crowded, overstimulating environments that amplify your stress. If you live in a bustling city, the noise and energy of crowded streets might feel unbearable right now. Instead, seek solace in nature, take a walk in Serenity Valley where the rustling leaves and chirping birds can soothe your nervous system. Or if you can't get outside, create a calming space at home. Dim the lights, play soft music, and wrap yourself in a cozy blanket. Imagine this, you've had a stressful day and the thought of going to a crowded event with friends feels overwhelming. Under this full moon, you decide to stay home, light a lavender-scented candle, and spend the evening journaling about your feelings. As you write, you feel a sense of calm wash over you, a reminder that you have the power to create peace in your own life. How can you create a peaceful environment for yourself right now? What small changes could make a big difference? Next, adjust your sleep patterns to counteract the lunar energy's intensity. The full moon in Libra can disrupt your rest, leaving you tossing and turning with vivid dreams or racing thoughts. To combat this, create a soothing bedtime routine, turn off screens an hour before bed, sip a cup of chamomile tea, and read a calming book. Go to bed earlier than usual, giving your body the rest it craves. If you're still struggling to sleep, try a grounding exercise, lie down, close your eyes, and imagine roots growing from your feet into the earth, anchoring you in a sense of calm. Imagine this, you've been waking up at 3 a.m. every night, your mind racing with worries about work, relationships, and the future. Under this full moon, you decide to create a new bedtime ritual, turning off your phone, taking a warm bath, and listening to a guided meditation. As you drift off to sleep, you feel a sense of peace you haven't felt in weeks. Have you noticed your sleep being disrupted lately? What strategies can you try to restore calm? Finally, practice deep breathing to center yourself. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, repeat the cycle until you feel your body relax. This simple technique can be a powerful tool for managing the emotional intensity of this full moon. Imagine this, you're in the middle of a heated argument with a family member and you feel your emotions spiraling out of control. You step away, find a quiet space, and start deep breathing, focusing on each inhale and exhale. As you breathe, you feel your anger soften, your mind clear, and you're able to return to the conversation with a calmer, more balanced perspective. This full moon is giving you the tools to navigate your emotions, but you have to use them. What breathing techniques can you try right now? How might they help you find peace? Let's talk about another emotional influence, the need to let go of toxic relationships. Libra, as the sign of partnerships, doesn't just highlight the good, it also reveals where there's disharmony. If there are relationships in your life that drain you, leave you feeling unappreciated, or cause more harm than good, this full moon is shining a spotlight on them. Imagine this, you've been friends with someone for years, but lately, every interaction leaves you feeling small, criticized, or ignored. You've tried to address it, but they dismiss your concerns, leaving you feeling even worse. Under this full moon, you might feel a surge of clarity, a deep knowing that this relationship is no longer serving you. You might notice physical symptoms, maybe a knot in your stomach every time you think about them, or a sense of dread when you know you'll see them. Emotionally, you might feel a growing sense of resentment, a feeling that you're always giving and never receiving. This full moon is urging you to let go, to release this relationship with love and compassion, but also with firmness. What if letting go of this relationship opens the door to new, healthier connections? Are you ready to take that step, or will you hold on to what's familiar even if it's hurting you? Let's connect with you directly. Have you felt the emotional intensity of this full moon? Maybe you've noticed physical symptoms, tightness in your chest, fatigue, or emotional ones like sudden sadness or a longing for peace. Share your experiences in the comments below. What emotions are coming up for you? What relationships are feeling strained? Let's create a space where we can support each other through this cosmic shift. And if you're finding this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom Naturally. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support can help us get there. The full moon in Libra is a cosmic deadline, a fleeting window of opportunity that you must seize before it closes. Preparation is key because this lunar energy is powerful but transient. Its peak lasts only 48 hours, and if you're not ready, you'll miss your chance to transform your life. Let's explore how to prepare both internally and externally so you can harness this energy for growth, healing, and manifestation. Are you ready to take action, or will you let this moment pass you by? Self-reflection, the first step. Start with self-reflection because the full moon in Libra is all about clarity, and the best way to gain clarity is by looking inward. Grab a journal, find a quiet space, and ask yourself some hard questions. What's out of balance in my life? What relationships need healing? What emotional baggage am I ready to release? Maybe you've been holding on to a grudge from a past betrayal, perhaps a friend in Serenity Valley who let you down years ago, and the pain still lingers. You might have thought you'd moved on, but every time you see them, you feel a pang of hurt, a reminder of the trust that was broken. Or maybe you're clinging to a relationship that no longer serves you, like a colleague who constantly undermines you, leaving you feeling small and powerless. This full moon is your chance to let go, but you have to be honest with yourself first. Write down everything that comes up without judgment. Let your emotions flow onto the page: anger, sadness, fear, hope. What do you need to release to make space for new beginnings? What old wounds are you ready to heal? Let's take this journaling exercise further because self-reflection is a powerful tool for transformation, and this full moon is the perfect time to use it. Imagine you're sitting in a quiet corner of your home, a cup of tea in hand, the soft glow of a candle illuminating your journal. As you write, you start to uncover patterns you hadn't noticed before. Maybe you realize that you've been holding on to resentment toward a family member for years, a resentment that's been quietly affecting your relationship with them. Or perhaps you discover that you've been avoiding your own emotions, pushing down feelings of sadness or anger because you didn't want to deal with them. This full moon is giving you the clarity to see these patterns, but it's also giving you the courage to address them. What if you wrote a letter to that family member, not to send, but to express everything you've been holding on to? Or what if you allowed yourself to feel those suppressed emotions fully, to cry, to scream, to let it all out? This full moon is a safe space for emotional release, but you have to be willing to go there. What emotions are you ready to face? How might releasing them change your life? Self-reflection isn't just about looking at the past, it's also about understanding your present. Why do certain situations or people trigger you so deeply? Maybe every time your partner forgets to call, you feel a wave of abandonment, a feeling that traces back to a childhood memory of being left alone. Or perhaps a friend's criticism sends you into a spiral of self-doubt, revealing an insecurity you've been carrying for years. Understanding the roots of these triggers can empower you to make conscious choices, to shift into a more balanced emotional state. Imagine this: you're journaling about a recent argument with your sibling, and as you write, you realize the real issue isn't the argument itself, it's a deeper fear of losing their love, a fear that stems from a time when you felt disconnected from them as a child. This full moon is giving you the clarity to see these patterns, but what will you do with that insight? Will you use it to heal, or will you let the pattern continue? Balancing your energy, a cosmic necessity. Next, let's talk about balancing your energy because the full moon in Libra is a cosmic invitation to restore equilibrium in your life. This lunar energy can be intense, amplifying your emotions and leaving you feeling overwhelmed. To counteract this, schedule regular downtime to recharge. If you've been running on empty, maybe working long hours or juggling family responsibilities, this full moon is your permission to rest. Take a solo hike in Serenity Valley where the fresh air and quiet can reset your nervous system. Or soak in a hot bath with lavender oil, letting the warm water melt away your stress. Imagine this: you've been working nonstop for weeks, barely taking a moment to breathe. Under this full moon, you decide to take a day off, driving to Serenity Valley for a hike. As you walk through the forest, the sound of the wind in the trees and the scent of pine fill your senses, and for the first time in weeks, you feel a sense of peace. These moments of rest aren't a luxury, they're a necessity. How can you carve out time for yourself this week? What activities make you feel grounded and at peace? Setting boundaries is another crucial step. Are there relationships or situations that are draining your energy, leaving you feeling exhausted or overwhelmed? Maybe a friend is constantly venting to you but never asks how you're doing. Or perhaps you've been saying yes to every work project, even when you're already stretched thin. This full moon is urging you to communicate your needs clearly and assertively. It's okay to say no, to take a step back from commitments that no longer align with your priorities. Imagine this: your boss asks you to take on another project, but you're already overwhelmed. You've been saying yes to everything, afraid of disappointing anyone, but under this full moon, you feel a surge of courage. You take a deep breath and say, "I'd love to help, but I need to prioritize my current workload. I'm at capacity right now." Your boss nods, respecting your honesty, and you feel a wave of relief, a sense of empowerment you haven't felt in a long time. Setting that boundary can feel liberating, even if it's uncomfortable at first. What boundaries do you need to set right now? Who in your life needs to hear a gentle but firm no? Let's explore this idea of boundaries further because it's a crucial part of balancing your energy, and this full moon is the perfect time to practice it. Imagine you have a friend who's been leaning on you heavily lately, calling you every day to vent about their problems. You care about them deeply, but their constant need for support is starting to drain you. You've been feeling resentful, but also guilty for feeling that way. You don't want to let them down. Under this full moon in Libra, you might feel a surge of clarity, a deep knowing that you need to set a boundary. You decide to have an honest conversation, saying, "I love supporting you, but I've been feeling overwhelmed lately and I need to take some time for myself. Can we find a balance that works for both of us?" Your friend might be surprised, even a little hurt, but they also respect your honesty, and together you find a new way of connecting that feels more balanced. This full moon is teaching you that boundaries aren't about pushing people away, they're about creating space for healthier, more sustainable relationships. What if setting this boundary strengthens your friendship in the long run? Are you ready to have that conversation, or will you keep overextending yourself? Manifestation, harnessing the lunar energy. Finally, let's talk about manifestation, because the full moon in Libra is a powerful time to set intentions and bring your desires to life. This lunar energy is all about balance, harmony, and relationships, so focus your intentions on these themes. Start by finding a quiet space, maybe a cozy corner of your home, lit by the soft glow of a candle. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and visualize the calming energy of Libra surrounding you, filling your mind, body, and heart with harmony. What do you want to manifest? Perhaps it's a balanced relationship. Imagine a partnership filled with mutual respect where you both give and receive equally. Or maybe it's inner peace. Picture yourself feeling calm, centered, and free from anxiety. The more vividly you can imagine your desires, the stronger the energy you'll send out into the universe. What do you want to bring into your life right now? How does it feel to imagine it as if it's already yours? Let's take this manifestation ritual further, because the full moon in Libra is a potent time for creating your desired reality, and the more intentional you are, the more powerful your manifestation will be. Imagine you're sitting under the moonlight, a notebook in hand, the night air cool against your skin. You light a pink candle for love and harmony, and as the flame flickers, you write down your intentions. "I am manifesting peaceful, loving relationships filled with mutual respect," or "I am cultivating inner peace and balance in my life." Be specific. The clearer your intentions, the more powerful your manifestation will be. As you write, you feel a sense of clarity, a deep knowing that these desires are within your reach. Then you close your eyes and visualize your intentions coming to life. You see yourself in a balanced relationship, laughing with your partner, feeling seen and appreciated. You feel inner peace washing over you, a sense of calm that radiates from within. As you visualize, you feel a surge of emotion, joy, gratitude, love, a sign that your intentions are aligning with the universe's energy. What emotions come up for you as you imagine your desires? How can you hold on to that feeling as you move forward? But manifestation isn't just about visualization, it's about action. If you're manifesting a balanced relationship, take a step toward it. Maybe plan a heartfelt conversation with a loved one, or commit to spending more quality time together. Imagine this. You've been feeling disconnected from your partner, and under this full moon, you decide to plan a special evening together. You cook dinner, light candles, and sit down to talk, sharing your hopes and dreams for your relationship. As you talk, you feel a sense of connection you haven't felt in months, a reminder of the love that brought you together. Or if you're seeking inner peace, start a daily meditation practice, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. Imagine this. You wake up each morning, sit in a quiet space, and meditate, focusing on your breath and letting go of stress. Over time, you notice a shift. You feel calmer, more centered, more at peace with yourself. The full moon in Libra is a cosmic catalyst, but you must ignite the spark. What action can you take today to move closer to your desires? Let's connect with you directly. Have you tried any of these preparation or manifestation techniques? Maybe you've journaled about what you need to release or set an intention for a new beginning. Share your experiences in the comments below. What's coming up for you as you prepare for this full moon? What are you hoping to manifest? Let's create a space where we can support each other through this cosmic shift. And if you're finding this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom Naturally. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support can help us get there. As the full moon in Libra peaks in April 2025, you stand at a crossroads. This isn't a time for fear, it's a time for action. The universe has handed you a rare opportunity to recalibrate your life, restore balance, and step into a more harmonious version of yourself. But the clock is ticking, this energy won't wait. Take these steps to stabilize your energy and protect yourself from the lunar intensity. Avoid crowded, chaotic spaces that amplify your stress. Spend time in nature to ground yourself, perhaps a quiet walk in Serenity Valley. Adjust your sleep to counteract disturbances by creating a soothing bedtime routine and practice deep breathing or meditation to center your mind. These simple acts can be your anchor in this cosmic storm. At Cosmic Wisdom Naturally, our mission is to keep you ahead of these transformative shifts, empowering you with the tools to thrive. I want to hear from you. How will you harness this full moon's energy? Are you ready to release a toxic relationship or manifest inner peace? Share your plans in the comments below and let's support each other through this journey. And if you're feeling the urgency of this moment, don't wait, subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom Naturally and ring the bell so you never miss a cosmic update. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers this month and build a community of cosmic warriors together. Before we part, repeat this affirmation: I am in perfect harmony with myself and the universe. I welcome peace, balance, and love into my life. Let this full moon be your turning point. The power is in your hands. How will you use it?